All right, good evening, guys. Ken at Tortoise Capital Nightly Strategy Podcast for November 17th, 2023. Start with the hybrid swing workshop, or portfolio, I should say, 30-minute. Alcoa closed here and gapped up, and that was a PSAR flip, so we cashed +1. No trade rest of the day. AI was the scratch. Amazon SSC caught a 2, actually. 1R, dragon skin exit. Caterpillar, that was a gap up and go. Standard risk. I'm holding that one overnight. That's 2R. Cliff, no trade. Chevron, I'm sorry, CVS. This one we entered near the at the close yesterday. Actually, no, this is right at the opening today. Misplaced. That should be right there. Yeah. So that's the trade from the open. And half an hour standard exit. This is Disney and no trade. It's second day of a sideways quiet channel. Should be ready to go next week. Devon Energy was a COTA 2 and a wide risk, of course, because it's Dish. And that was about half an hour. Looks bigger, but that's just because the range is so small. Devon Energy. Gap and go after the SSC. And 2R with a dragon skin exit. Electronic Arts, no trade. Emerging Markets, no trade. Ethereum, no trade. Mexico, COTA 2 and a half an hour. Brazil, no trade. Intel entered the COTA 2 around noon, and it closed well. It was continuing to grind all day, so we just held it, and it's holding 2R over the weekend. IP was a gap and go on the COTA 2, and it went all the way up to here and reversed sharply. So we just exited for a scratch, missed the downward move that was there. IYR setting up. That's like the fourth day in a row of a really tight range compression. I'm looking for that to make a move next week. Coca-Cola, man, that was so bad. I missed the 1, 2, 3. Should have been in around here on the 1, 2, 3 and the reversal of the dragon. Just bad shooting. KRE also should have had that one missed. Mattel, no trade, missed the morning hook to the downside, and then missed the recovery trade. McDonald's, COTA 2, standard entry, and then took the exit at the PSAR for about an hour, no overnight risk. Merck, no trade. Microsoft, also no trade. Missed the that collapsing dragon here, and the PSAR flip supported fall crossing. Missed that one completely. Just bad form. Marijuana, COTA 2, standard risk, holding 2R going into the weekend. NVIDIA, this is a COTA 2 from yesterday, and we held it all the way through. That's just part of the tech the tech recovery that I'm betting on. This was, the strength in Intel carried over into my feelings on Nvidia, and I still like that one longer term. PBW missed that Kata 2. That was the cleanest Kata 2 ever, and just didn't catch it. I was not very sharp today. Rivian, no trade. S&P was another sideways quiet channel, but it did kind of start grinding to the upside in the afternoon, so that bodes well for next week. Treasuries were a grind, finished higher. Tesla, no trade, and U.S. Steel took the collapsing dragon here. Try to get that to scale. And that's a dragon skin exit for about half an hour. Oh. We're doing, this was the first night back on the soccer court after the heart attack in the 10th week of rehab. And we played 2 hours of soccer with the kids today, indoors futsal. 20,000 steps today. And I'll be feeling that tomorrow. So this is a sniper trade of the day, marijuana, 3-minute bars. There's your OR3. Take the OR3 to the upside. Dragon exit for about an hour. Kata 2 re-entry. The R10 rolls over. I hit the exit at the skin of the dragon and got filled at the spine, so that's a bit of a fractional gain. Kata 2 re-entry, fractional loss. Wait for the afternoon, and there was just nothing. After those two little sideways nothings, I was just happy to get out of there with about an R for the day. This is Intel, 3-minute bars. So I'm noticing I'm doing a WMB3 on this one. So here's the oversold condition on the W. So now I'm looking up, but this is still all sloping downwards. So I don't have the MACD histogram uptick yet. So I got to wait for that. Ugh. And there we are. So there's the uptick on MACD histogram. Yeah. So there's the uptick. So we go to the bar where the uptick closed, which is that one. Right. So we read that up, and that means this is the bar that closed that made the MACD uptick. So you put an entry just above that, and that gives you why is that? Oh. So that gives you the entry right here. And that's, I'm taking the risk at the bottom of the dragon. That fails 4 bars later into the dragon, and I take about a half an hour exit. Half an hour loss. Regretting that I'm not short. So going back to the MACD, or to the WMB3, there's the oversold on the Williams. So I read up. This is the first uptick in MACD, so I read up. And this one So I'm looking for an entry here, but it doesn't break out above that. So then I keep that in play. And then this next bar gives me the entry right around the skin of the dragon. And I'm taking the exit. Right here. That would be my risk box. By this time, I should be at no lose plus dinner for two. The R10 reverts to the summer and starts to cruise higher. All that's good. I feel like I should have taken that exit there. I think that should have been an exit in here. And then probably taken the re-entry here. I think with better play, I think that's a better way to play that. I do take the PSAR exit later. So this is all on one position. So that's 1, 2. That's about 3R. There's your Kata 2 re-entry for another 1.5R standard exit. Kata 2 re-entry. And PSAR exit. So about 4 or 5R on that one altogether. Turned out to be a kind of a nice series. I think this was poorly done right there. That should have been a exit and then re-entry. So I'm not very happy with that exit. This is Dish Network. There's your WMB3 entry. You could either pick the belly of the dragon or the belly of the RL10 for your execution risk. Either way, that pays off. When this breaks above the RL10, even though that's not a 2R battle drill, I like that signal. And it was in a decisive, strong upward move. And PSAR exit for about 4R. Cloud of 2 re-entry, scratches, and that was it for the day. Hamad, nice job in here on the Aussie dollar for an Intel. He pulls -1. Once again, this is the great entry, and you should be getting this whole move. Now you got most of it in pieces. At least we got a quick re-entry, but I can't really argue with the break entry or break even entry, exit here. As long as you're getting that re-entry, I think we're all right. I think this was maybe 1 bar late. I think we should be in a bar earlier. In IP, you know, I'm just going to keep saying this until you hear me. Here's your short. This is your execution risk. So any exit inside of this space is noise. If you have this as your entry and this as your stop, you should have that whole move. And this extra chopping around in here and entering and exiting inside the noise leads you to a minus 2.5. You're losing minus 0.5, 0.7, 0.7, 0.5, 0.5, and only in one case did we get paid in there. So all of that chopping in that noise, when that first one is the signal, and that entire move is decisively down. So keep listening to that lesson about don't exit in the noise. And just try that for a while. All those two trades in there are in the sideways quietest channel that you ever saw. Rivian. You know, here's an entry with a risk box. So this is not a reversal. It's still in the noise of that first trade. We should, in my mind, with this long, I don't know why we're not just getting that one. This extra loss in here is hurting. For George, I mean, I can see that you're skipping these, but I don't know why. And there's a PSAR flip and a failure down through the VWAP right there. That's like the prime time signal. When this breakout and go doesn't go, and it breaks down through the VWAP, that's prime signal. And yes, that's an SSC, and I know that you're skipping them, but I don't know why. Why is that not a good entry? Why are we not taking those entries? Put the reason that you're skipping those. You know, like, why are we skipping that? If you enter here with a stop here and it runs all the way up here, at worst you're going to scratch. And then that short position should be there. And then when it runs this far and reverses, that's a 1, 2, 3 exit. I guess I could live with that. But then that would lead you to a 0.4 win instead of a scratch. That's also a 1, 2, 3 entry on the upside. And here's an RLXD. And there is an SSC. And if you take that, we should be in the money and we won't lose money on that trade. And I don't know why we're not taking those. So I can see that they're skipped, but start looking at the reasons why you're not taking those. Now, this one I don't understand. I don't know why that is a short right there. And I don't know why we're not getting short right here. When this rolls over and it crosses through yesterday's VWAP, we could either be short here or here. And then this is about a 1, 2, 3 exit right here. So if you're short here, That's as much as you want to give back. You want to make that trade. Now, unless this just rolled over right inside here and you got short, and then it reversed and then went all the way up here before we exited, we could be getting out at the breaching of the dragon. And then that could be your stop and reverse, and then that'll get paid. And I don't know why we're not taking that one. Crossing the VWAP, you won't lose money on that trade. This short should be in here. This exit is late. When this does not work and crosses the VWAP, you can get out anywhere in here. We should be taking this with a stop down here. All right, weekend reports. Bullish normal, maximum strength everywhere, favorable volatility, slight reduction in the recommended exposure because of weakness in the globals. All right. This was an extraordinary move. This from this deep sell-off to clearing this in one leg and then a second leg, and now it's back above the RL 270, and look what we have now. This is like maximum critical state right here. The sell-off 2 legs down has completely reversed. It's gotten back up to the 270, which is narrowed, and then the 270 actually is in the form of a kata 2. Look how it did this. It pulled down, and now it's getting ready to come back up. It's on an upward glide path. That's a kata 2 on the RL 270. And the RL 90 is turning over right here at a higher low than it did here. So this is a kata 2 in the RL 90. So this was an extraordinary recovery. This move from 410 to 450, that's a 10% correction to the upside. And here's where the owl picked it up. Just so that you learn to trust that. The RL 90 rolls up, or RL 30 rolls up here, and the dragon is rolling up here. So in this region, at like 422, you get an owl entry to the long side when an RL 10 goes through the dragon. And then you get to enjoy that entire move. And now it's already testing this crucial level. And if it breaks above here, it's a short move to 460 and beyond. It could happen. It could also come back down and test this at 435. And if that fails, it's right back to 410. So that's the size of the steps. The 3-day and the 9-day are both very favorable on the sniper. It's the RL 10 pushing to new highs this week. Gains in real estate and small caps and the mid cap. So this is the alternate to the large caps. This is getting some important support from the rest of the U.S. economy, other than the large caps. So that's a very promising sign. In the Dow 30, Intel and Disney, as we were trading this week, really just powered through. Intel, Microsoft, IBM, and Apple. Look at the top four. That's everything. Nice. Even the ones in the very extreme of the ETF2 database had some moments of extreme joy. Biotech, Chile, healthcare, and clean energy. Let's look for. They got a long way to recover, but maybe there's some more juice left in the grapes. Let's see. Let's take a look at the tradables. Combination of sufficient volatility and a lot of daily volume. Biotech, regional banks, oil and gas exploration, and the gold miners. Look how much more volatile the small caps are compared to the NASDAQ. You wouldn't expect that, would you? The NASDAQ is really low volatility, and the Russell is high volatility. In fact, treasuries are more volatile than the Qs. Would you bet that? Let's. All right, in the Dow Tactical today, strong move. Intel, Morgan, Texas Instruments, Caterpillar, Cisco 7-1, Pfizer 3.7, Cisco 7-1. I mean, that's an old school tech, and it still has some ground to recover to catch up to its tech peers. Big strong move this week in uranium, EFA, and Japan. Dominated by the summer. You can see the clear win. I mean, no surprises there. Caterpillar, Intel, and then the two finances, AXP and Morgan. No change in the top five for trading value. And I'm a little bit concerned right now with this little recovery we got going on. That just feels like it's a compound critical state. Is it going to follow through, or are we going to revert back to the mean or to the extreme? Don't know. But we're starting to get a little steep. We're already at +1. This is at +1 sigma. So it's just becoming exceptionally strong right now. So let's keep that in mind. Respect your trade frames. All right, that's everything we got for today. True storytelling in the morning, and foundations and creativity on Sunday. Take good care, and we shall see you soon.